Hello, welcome. This is Maurice Parker. This is the Maurice Parker channel. Here we talk about sports and everything else. And today we are going to talk about the results of the NFL draft as well as first round of the NBA playoffs. I would first want to thank you guys so much. I have over 680 subscribers, I believe, or around that much. Just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. I appreciate you guys for allowing me to listen to the videos and just supporting if you can. Thank you for all the likes and subscriptions. It's been truly amazing to see the channel grow. So let's get into it. The NFL draft has concluded. Obviously, it's been a week since then, and Shedeur Sanders, who was projected to go first, is going to the fifth round to the Cleveland Browns. Now, this was a surprising series of events. As you guys know, I was surprised to see him go that low. I thought he was at least going to go third round at the latest. I'm glad the Cleveland Browns picked him up and drafted him. I think that this was more so a statement to the NFL because I think that they was trying to lowball Deion Sanders' son, and I know that people have some ways to feel about that or indifference, but to me, it could have just came down to them trying to make a statement that nobody was about to leave and whatnot. I just felt bad for Shedeur Sanders. I know he had kind of prank call, which was not cool. The Falcons defensive coordinator did get fined as well as the organization for that mishap, because what ended up happening, to make a long story short for all the people out there who don't know, the defensive coordinator's son, I cannot think his name, had called Shedeur Sanders. The reason how he got the number was the defensive coordinator had his tablet on, and if you don't know, the tablet has the phone numbers of any time somebody's projected to go to a draft. They had the phone numbers of every potential draft prospect need. And it was just not cool because, that's somebody's livelihood. And I think it was worse coming from Atlanta Falcons because his father, Deion Sanders, first came to play for Atlanta. It was kind of a special time for her for it to come to the Falcons. Now, I don't believe the owner of the knew nothing about it. I do feel bad. I think the conversation should be had. I know Shedeur forgave him. But still, there's some hurt feelings there, as you would imagine, because it's just unacceptable. Now, moving towards the NBA, the first round. Let's get into it. Though, the Minnesota Timberwolves defeated the Los Angeles Lakers in 4-1 in a gentleman's sweep, as some may call it. Anthony Edwards was amazing. He was outstanding. Rudy Gobert was outstanding down the stretch in this game. For LeBron, this is the third time in his career, I believe, that he has gotten bounced out the first round. Disappointing, of course, because you never want to see somebody get bounced out the first round. And I was asked, how do I think this affects his legacy? I don't think it affects his legacy as much, because I wouldn't do that to Jordan. I wouldn't do that to Kobe. I would not do that to any great player who has gotten kicked out or bounced out. Although, granted, when Jordan had Scottie Pippen, he only got kicked out the playoffs one time. Out the first round, I think, one time. And I think Kobe might have got bounced out once before. But at the end of the day, it was just a dominant win by the Minnesota Timberwolves. You got to give them credit to Anthony Edwards, to Nas Reed, to DiVincenzo, to all those outstanding players who did a heck of a job winning the series. Just to go back and forth and fight against the Lakers team, regardless, to get back to LeBron's legacy. His legacy is cemented. For me, I have seen him play. I didn't get to see Michael Jordan play in his prime. I'm just going to reference that. I did not get to see Michael Jordan play in his prime. Kobe Bryant, I got to see a little part of it, but the later part, but not the earlier parts, because I'm still young growing up. I didn't get the concept. I've seen LeBron play because I had the concept of him playing, and actually get to mature as I got older, seeing him play. So for me, for him to lose this series, it was hurt, especially you hear the news when he had an MCL sprain. So we got to see that. This man has been playing in the league 22 years since he was 18. Of course, it just was his last game. I will tell him thank you. He's one of the greatest who's ever stepped foot on the court. I don't think his legacy is kind of already cemented to me as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, to play based on what he has done. But he's definitely one of the greatest to step foot on the court without question. To say the greatest of all time is subjective. Let me just say that to anybody, myself included. It's subjective because there's different eras, and it's not fair to say who's who. I would say Jordan was the greatest of his era, just like Kobe, just like LeBron, just like all of them. Was the greatest, just like Magic and Kareem and Wilt and Bill Russell. So for a legacy perspective, I don't think it hurts him that much. Just because if you're in the league 22 years and you get kicked out the round, even if I have another All Star player with me, it takes more than two All Star players to get bounced out. Um, he should be proud of himself. He's had a career worth having to even go to those mini finals and stuff like that. Just wanted to capitalize on that. I can see why people say it might affect his legacy, but to me, LeBron James, one of the greatest players to step foot on the court. Just wanted to get that out there. Moving next forward to the game that I thought was the series that I think it was really interesting was the New York Knicks and the Detroit Pistons. And I'll say congratulations to the New York Knicks of advancing to the second round of the playoffs where they will play the Boston Celtics. I think that is going to be an awesome series. The Detroit Pistons made the playoffs for the first time, I think, since 2008. They played a resilient bunch. This team is on the rise. I believe that Chad Cunningham and the rest of them, Schroeder showed up. I think Tobias Harris is good, fairly good. I think that this Detroit Pistons team is actually going to rise up because I think that they showed a lot of heart and grit in the city that they, for a long time since 2008, that this Detroit team had hope, they had the drive, they had the motivation, they had the will. Now they've got the experience. Now that they got a taste of the playoffs, I think now this is what you do. You build for next year. Of course, never was to get eliminated, but you build to even make it that far. You build and you try to go to the next round and try to go further because it's not going to be an easy, hard-fought series. Jalen Brunson for winning the game. The buzzer being shot, and that was amazing for you to hit. Congratulations. I had to feel an amazing moment for you to win in the playoffs in a big-time spot because it's nothing like it. You can't simulate that. Next series is what I'll talk about is the Milwaukee Bucks losing to the Pacers. The Pacers win the series 4-1. Tyrese Halliburton hit the game-winning layup on Giannis Antetokounmpo. This was actually the series. This was the second time the Pacers have beaten the Milwaukee Bucks, and this really shows that these two teams do not like each other. So playoff rivals, but it shows in a game of grit. You got to give Indiana a lot of credit for what they did offensively, defensively, grabbing the boards, getting the shots, dictating the game, not being afraid of the moment, embracing the moment. Unfortunately, the game was nullified at the end because of an accident. Tyrese Halliburton's dad. I know he said something to Giannis Antetokounmpo at the end of the game. I get it, you're a parent and you're trying to support your son. I also think that there's a time and a place because, that's your son's moment and, you're shaking hands and you're trying to be humble. It's hard. Emotions are hiding in the game. Regardless of how much a person gets paid or whatnot, if you're a competitive person and you lose a series and have to go back home, you got to reflect all that hard work on that season. Now you have to just try to save it up for next year, and there's always a way to go about it. I know that I had got information that he has been, suspended from future Pacers games because they do not want that type of rain. They don't want fans to come on the court to antagonize the players. I know you say, oh man, you just talk stuff, but there's a time and a place to do it. If you are a spectator in the stands, and I'm talking smack, and the player's talking smack, and I'm saying from the stands, you got it. The player has to suck it up. But when you go on the court, you start going like that's crossing the line. I just have to get that out there, and I do think that that's very important. The next game series I'm talking about is there's two series that's currently ongoing, and both of them are just eliminated. One is going to be finished up tomorrow when the time is recorded. It is going to be later on today. It is the Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Clippers. This has been a hard-fought slugfest series. It's been a real drag. Now slobbering off as JR was saying in WWE, Jim Ross. It has just been old school grit and grind type of basketball. I mean, you have the Denver Nuggets with Jamal Murray and Jokic, and as well as Brown. Is just crazy. Just think about all Eric Gordon. It's just crazy. Aaron Gordon, sorry, not Eric Gordon. Aaron Gordon against the Los Angeles Clippers with Kawhi Leonard, as well as Norman Powell, James Harden, and Zubac. Oh, I forgot to mention for the Clippers, they have Russell Westbrook, and I do think that is definitely huge as well. And Michael Porter Jr. is actually a good player too, as well as them. I think what's going to come down to this series is going to be the determining factors. My take is it's going to be who has the ball last. And I feel like it's one of those series where both teams are going to give it everything they got. It's going to come down to who has the ball last. Because whoever has the ball last, that's who I think is going to win the game. You're asking me who I think is going to win the game. This is really a toss-up. I think, man, to be honest with you, I really can't tell you who I think will win the series of the game. But I guess I'm going to give an estimation. I think the Nuggets might win. Only for the fact is, I think in the final minutes they're going to do something to this, turn the game around in their favor, and it's going to be one of the craziest endings that you might see in the NBA Finals because we've already had some of them. But in the flip side, if the Clippers pull out the win, you gotta have to give them credit. I just think it's gonna be a good, awesome game of basketball. The last game I'm going to talk about is the Houston Rockets and the Warriors. This series is now tied 3-3. The Warriors were leading 3-1, and it looked like it was just going to be a gentleman's sweep, which is a reference is when a team is beating 4-1. But however, this is 3-3 now. So what ends up happening now is you have a Rockets team that is refusing to just quit against an experienced Warriors team, a championship team that has won 6 NBA Finals, has won 4 championships, that had playoff success. Shout out to Steph Curry. I know he's been shooting the ball, but this Rockets team is different. I don't think that the fact that they're young, but they're fearless. And one thing I noticed in watching the duration of the game is when every time Steph Curry and them would hit a three, other teams usually get fearful of that. The Rockets just came back and scored. And I think the fact that they just came back and scored every time, they was killing the momentum to the point where I think after a while they just took the fight from the Warriors, unfortunately. And I'm not going to accuse the teams of quitting. I just think that sometimes when you're in a hard-fought game and battle, you hit somebody with big-time shots and they just keep overcoming it. It's just crazy. And it just shows, I think, Van Fleet is doing his thing. And Steven Adams, they were trying to hack Steven Adams because he's not a very good free throw shooter, but he showed up today, did a good job free throw shooting. Jalen Green did his thing. Thompson did his thing. I know Draymond Green is normally the defensive agitator. He's also a good playmaker. Jimmy Butler did try to show signs of life. Pachenzo tried. One thing I'm noticing is I think this is just certain aspects of Kuminga hurts, and I think that they should probably play him for Game 7 because at this point we gotta let the things go aside. If you want to win a series, it's about playing everybody that you have to give yourself a best shot of winning. This game is going to go back to Houston on Sunday. So officially on Sunday, after Sunday, we will have everybody who is going to be on the second round, so the semifinal round. And that is when the series will kick off. From there, from the next games, who's going to be playing. I'd say congratulations to all the teams who advanced to the playoffs. You guys deserve it. Good, hard-fought wins. To the teams who got eliminated, keep your heads up. Y'all had an amazing season. Unfortunately, some of you has to win, some of you has to lose. You guys are going to bounce back and respond for next year, and just get your mind, body, time of rest. Take time to enjoy with your family, and just get back onto the grind. Don't harper on it. Just say okay, and try it again for next year. I did want to say thank you again so much to all the people subscribing and giving feedback and everything else. I appreciate it. I truly do. Thank you for all the subscribers and everything. I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. I'm going to try to update more frequently. I know this was just a week from the last time I updated, but I'm going to try to get more frequent updates. Just thank you guys so much and stay tuned for the next video.